Hello everybody. Let's try to understand about data warehouse. So we know about a lot of data warehouse. Nowadays the primary one is Snowflake. There's data warehouses like Synapse Analytics, I think, in Azure. Then we have in S3 also and GCP also. Now a data warehouse, the fundamental thing you need to understand to identify the difference between a data lake and a data warehouse is that when you put the data in a data warehouse, you need to define the structure, you need to define the columns, you need to define what kind of column types are, all this thing. But when you put the data in a data lake, you do not need to define all these things. So what is a data lake? It's S3 bucket, is ADLS, things like that. Again, I will tell, when you put the data into a data warehouse like Snowflake, you need to define the structure, you need to define its columns, types, and all those things. Now why is that important? Because you are going to run queries on top of that to build something useful, to get something useful. Maybe what was the sales last year in the month January, and why is it less this month? All this kind of thing you might be running. So basic thing you need to understand is the difference between a data warehouse and a data lake. Data warehouse is schema on write. You need to define the schema when you when you put the data into the data warehouse. Whereas the data lake house, you can put the data, you do not need to define this structure. When you read the data from a data lake, then only that is become schema on read. Then only you need to define the structure. Hope that makes sense.